Genesis chapter 2 verse 2 to 3 states, start quote, "On the seventh day Elohim finished his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Elohim blessed the seventh day, and made it holy, because he rested in it from all his work of creation which he had done." End quote. Exodus chapter 20 verse 8 to 11 establishes the seventh day of the week as the resting day and makes it the fourth commandment. The Hebrew term for Saturday is Yom Shabbat. Yom is day. Shabbat is Sabbath in English. It's a Hebrew word with the meaning to rest from labor. All of Judaism and Talmudism rests on Saturday, but almost the entire Christian world considers Sunday to be the day of rest instead. Neither the Old or the New Covenant has changed or invalidated the fourth commandment. So who has made Sunday the resting day? The so-called One True Church, of course. It happened before the East-West Schism. In 321, Constantine, the dictator of the Roman Empire at the time, who is now considered a saint in Eastern Christianity, legislated Sunday to be a day of rest for all citizens. The Roman Empire had not yet become Christian. Mithraism was one of the religions that was practiced back then. Sunday was sacred to them. The church was trying to convert everybody to Christianity, and Constantine disliked how religious differences between people could risk social stability. He preferred to establish an orthodoxy to control religion in the Roman Empire. Neither the church or Constantine cared about Christianity being a Jewish religion. Both cared about control and using orthodoxy to accomplish that. After the government made Sunday the resting day in the Roman Empire, the Council of Laodicea followed suit and outlawed the keeping of the Sabbath and encouraged rest on Sunday. But the church claims that the New Covenant changed the Sabbath instead, even though it's nowhere to be found in the New Covenant. They say that Yeshua was resurrected on Sunday, which is not true. He was resurrected on Saturday. Matthew chapter 28 verse 1 to 6 states that when Mary came to his tomb before sunrise on Sunday morning, he was already risen. In Matthew chapter 12 verse 40, Yeshua stated that he will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. That means that he was crucified on Wednesday during Passover. When someone dies and is buried, it is said that that person has been laid to rest. The church says that he was resurrected on the first day, and therefore Sunday symbolizes the so-called new creation and honors his resurrection. That makes the Old Covenant the old creation, which allegedly ended with the Sabbath. It makes no sense whatsoever. What new creation? They believe in the so-called renewal of creation and refer to the term new creation in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17, which refers to a person who has become a Christian. It has nothing to do with renewal, but with incarnation. Yeshua was renewed, but his followers will not be renewed, but incarnated as something else, which is the new creation that Apostle Paul was talking about. Then they associate the so-called Lord's Day as being the beginning of the alleged new creation, which is supposed to be Sunday. Needless to say, it's a scam, of course. The New Covenant mentions the Lord's Day such as in Revelation chapter 1 verse 10, but never says that it's on a Sunday. Revelation was written by an apostle of Yeshua. If God commands Saturday as his resting day, his day of peace in other words, and his Son is incarnated and claims in Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 that he didn't come to break the law, what day does the New Covenant mean by the Lord's Day? Yeshua declared himself to be the Lord of the Sabbath in Matthew chapter 12 verse 8. He's the Lord of peace. He's the Lord and the Sabbath is his day. So what does the term Lord's Day mean? It's not that hard to figure out. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that it's on Sunday. The Orthodox Church tries to be smart about this scam by claiming that the Sabbath is Saturday and the Lord's Day is Sunday, yet totally ignored the Sabbath except as a day for general commemoration of the departed because it was when Yeshua was laid to rest according to them. In other words, they have made the Sabbath into Halloween. Amazing. On Sabbath the point is to study and to worship. It's the day to receive knowledge, in other words, and Yeshua is the embodiment of knowledge. Colossians chapter 2 verse 3 states that all treasures of wisdom and knowledge are hidden in him. He is the manna sent from heaven as stated in John chapter 6 verse 51. Manna is referred to as bread from heaven. When you consume this manna, you are consuming knowledge. When you are working as a spiritual leader, such as a pastor, and you are getting enough paid for it to make a living, your job is in fact to provide spiritual followers with knowledge, such as in the temple. The average person doesn't have as much time to study the Bible, for example. It's like in case of bakeries. You can make your own bread, but you can also pay a baker for bread when you are not working. The New Covenant is not about following specific rules and laws, especially not blindly. It's about spirituality. In Colossians chapter 2 verse 16 to 17, Apostle Paul writes, "Let no one therefore judge you in eating or in drinking or with respect to a feast day or a new moon or a Sabbath day, which are a shadow of the things to come, but the body is Christ." You can be a Christian all by yourself. You don't need the community. There is no Solomon's temple anymore, and neither do we need a third temple. You call the shots in your own life. But when you are part of a Christian community, you have to follow the resting day. After the Reformation, the vast majority of Protestant denominations kept Sunday as the resting day. Some did not, most notably Seventh-day Adventism. But what's the point? They have reformed a few things and failed to reform some other things, most notably their orthodoxy. Talmudists are even more orthodox about the Sabbath than the Seventh-day Adventists, who have even named their entire denomination after the Sabbath. The Talmud has all kinds of special rules listed for observing the Sabbath. They have Shabbat candles, for example. The woman of the house lights them up on Friday evening before sunset. At least 2 are lit up and it happens at a specific time. Then she closes her eyes and recites a blessing. While you are at it, you can also learn Hebrew to use the correct terms, such as melacha, which means work. This word is specifically used for what is forbidden to be done on the Sabbath. So they figured out a list of them to be absolutely sure what is forbidden to do on the Sabbath. Fire, for example. In Exodus chapter 35 verse 1 to 5, Moses gathered the Israelites and told them what Yahweh told him, which ends with, "You shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations on the Sabbath day." Electricity is fire. So you can even buy a Shabbat switch, which is a wall switch for the purpose of controlling electricity on demand on the Sabbath. You can go even further than that. You can also buy yourself a tefillah, which is a small leather box that you can put on your forehead. You put paper with scriptures in it. You can go ultra-orthodox. It's your business, but that's not what the New Covenant teaches. Even Yahshua and his disciples were accused by the predecessors of the Talmudists of breaking the Sabbath. In Luke chapter 6 verse 1 to 2, Yahshua's disciples plucked the heads of grain and ate, rubbing them in their hands. They weren't breaking the Sabbath, only the special rules of the Pharisees for observing the Sabbath. There is no reason to believe that a good person who worships and studies the Bible on Sunday will be punished for violating the 4th commandment. That person observes the Sabbath in his or her heart. I would be more inclined to believe that not learning anything is a violation of the 4th commandment, and I think that arming yourself with Shabbat candles, Shabbat switches, tefillin, and so on won't protect you against the consequences of this violation.